Now the next topic I am going to discuss, that is laws of reflection. How you can prove laws of reflection by using Huygens principle. Alright. Now the two topics in this lecture I will discuss, both are very important for your board exam. Every alternate year it comes, so you please do learn and practice the entire derivation. First you try to understand it. So here you see what are the laws of reflection, that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, isn't it? I is equal to R. So here how we can draw the diagram. Suppose we have taken the wave front as AB. So you see, first I have drawn the wave front AB. Be careful. This is the wave front AB. It is falling on the mirror SS dash. Is that clear? Now you see, if AB be the incident wave front, so you first will draw the diagram. First you will draw the mirror SS dash. Then you will draw the incident wave front AB. Already I have drawn the diagram. Alright. So you please follow the steps what I am saying. First you will draw SS dash. Then you will draw the incident wave front AB first, and you will write AB is the incident wave front. Alright. Now, we are having the concept that light ray is perpendicular to the wave front. So, you see what I have done. At the point A, I have drawn one perpendicular, and at the point B, you draw a perpendicular. So, you see, these are, okay, I am naming it as 1 and 2. So, you see, this is the first extreme ray and this is the second extreme ray. They are coming out from the wave front. Alright. Now, if you consider the ray falling at the point A, then you draw the normal and draw the reflected ray. What is the reflected ray? AB dash. I repeat, what is AB dash? AB dash is the reflected ray of 1. Alright, so you draw that AB dash first. Is that clear? Now you understand how I have applied the concept of Huygens principle or Huygens theory. Now you consider the rays 1 and 2. You see, the 1 is falling on the surface at the point A, but the second ray, it is not falling on the surface, reflecting surface at the point A. So if you extend it, how much distance it is traveling? BA dash. Alright. How much distance it is traveling? BA dash. Alright. So you see, according to Huygens principle, the ray from A and the ray from B, both the rays will take the same time to reach to the reflected wavefront. Alright, what does it mean? It means that BA dash should be equal to AB dash equal to the velocity of light. Here I have considered it is an air, so it will be C into T. Is that clear? Now that's why how I have done, I have taken BA dash as radius. Centering the point A, I have drawn an arc. This arc is drawn. How the arc is drawn? BA dash taking as radius. Centering the point A, the arc is drawn, and I have named it as AB dash, and then from the point A dash a tangent is drawn to the arc, that is A dash B dash. Alright. So this A dash B dash is the reflected wavefront. Alright. So these are the things should be there in your notebook. Alright, so you should write according to Huygens principle. Here I have not written. Okay, I am writing it. According to Huygens principle, BA dash equal to AB dash. This is the point. AB dash equal to C into T. Alright, so from the point A dash, if you draw a tangent to the arc, then A dash B dash is the reflected wavefront. Alright, so once again I am telling you that how we will draw the diagram. First we will draw the line SS dash, then you draw AB, then you draw the rays 1 and 2 perpendicular to AB. Then for the ray 1, you draw the reflected ray AB dash. Then draw an arc so that AB dash and A dash B becomes equal. And from A dash, you draw the tangent to the arc drawn. Okay, so that this is the way you can draw the diagram for this one. Now here, one more thing, just try to understand it. If you consider this is I, angle of incidence, then you see this angle is 90 minus I. So what will be this angle? This is I. So in case of ray optics, how we consider the angle of incidence? If this is the incident ray, then the angle made by the incident ray with the normal is the angle of incidence. Alright? But for wave optics, how we represent the angle of incidence, very important. If this is the reflecting surface, if this is the incident wave front, then angle made by the incident wave front with the reflecting surface is the angle of incidence. Is that clear? Similarly, suppose this is the reflecting surface and this is the reflected wave front, then the angle made by the reflected wave front with the reflecting surface is the angle of reflection. Alright, so here in this case you see angle BAA dash is equal to angle I and B dash A equal to angle of reflection R. So you see, if you consider the angle ABA dash, alright, I am just drawing it separately, then I will rub the diagram. If you consider this is 90 degrees, this is ABA dash and this is I. So you see what will be sin I? Sin I will be perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So BA dash by AA dash. So sin I is BA dash by AA dash. Now if you consider the triangle AB dash A dash. So if I draw it, it is AB dash A dash. Then you see which one is perpendicular. B dash A is the perpendicular and this angle is R. So what will be sin R? Sin R is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So it will be B dash A by AA dash. Okay. So you see sin I by sin R, you can write it as BA dash by AA dash into AA dash by B dash A. AA dash cancel. So you are getting BA dash by B dash A. But what we know according to Huygens principle, that BA dash equal to AB dash equal to C into T. So you can write it C into T equal to 1. Now this diagram you don't have to draw. Alright, remember that this diagram you don't have to draw. So if the derivation comes in exam, then these are the points. These are the points you have to write. Then only you will get full marks. This is another point and then this derivation. So from this one what we have got that, so you see as sin I is equal to sin R, so one can write I equal to R. So we have proved the second law of reflection. Second law of reflection is angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Alright. Not only that, you just look at the diagram A, B, A dash, B dash, S dash. All of them are lying on the whiteboard, plane of the whiteboard. But during the time of exam, you will not write plane of the whiteboard. So that's why I have written plane of the paper. Alright. Because if I write here plane of the whiteboard, then I know few are there. In the exam also, they will write plane of the whiteboard. Okay. That's why purposely I have written it plane of the paper. So what will happen? The incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal, all of them, they lie in the same plane. So this is the way using Huygens principle one can prove the laws of reflection. Alright, very important topic. Once again I am saying the diagram, the steps I said that you draw, and this putting the asterisk, the points I have written, and in the diagram also the arrows, the angles as I have denoted, all should be there in the derivation if it comes in the exam. Then only full marks you will be able to get. Okay, so this is the way one can prove the laws of reflection by using the Huygens principle. Now next is by using Huygens principle. This one diagram I have not completed because by mistake the last diagram I completed. I should show you that how you must draw the diagram. So that's why I have not completed it. So you just consider how we can prove the Snell's law, means laws of refraction by utilizing Huygens principle. Alright. So for that what we have done, we have taken, let us consider that S dash be the refracting surface. Alright. So I have first drawn the wavefront AB. So AB is the incident wavefront. Then you see these two ray 1 and ray 2, these are the extreme rays for the wavefront. Alright. Now you see the wave, this one, the ray 1, it is falling on the refracting surface at the point A. So what you will do, you will draw the refracted ray. This is I, then this will be R. Then you see the ray 2, it is not falling at the point, at the time it is falling, what you can say, the ray 1 when it is striking the refracting surface at A, then 2 is not striking the refracting surface at the same time. Rather what it is doing, it is travelling a distance BA dash and then striking SS dash. Is that clear? So if you consider that the ray A, the ray 1, not A, the ray 1 is travelling a distance AB dash, and at the same time ray 2 travelling the distance BA dash, then what Huygens principle said, that two rays, they should take the same time to move from one wavefront to other. Alright, the hidden information from the Huygens principle is that if you consider any two rays, they should take the same time to move from one wavefront to the next wavefront. So if we consider T be the time taken by ray 2, then you see ray 2 is travelling a distance BA dash in the first medium, so it should be BA dash by V1. Okay. Then if I consider the ray 1 is travelling a distance AB dash, B dash I have not shown till now. If I consider that the ray 1 is travelling a distance AB dash in the same time T, then you see the ray 1 will travel the distance within the medium 2 because it is already, it has struck already the surface at the point A. So in that time what will be the, how you can write the time T for the first ray, it will be AB dash by V2. So you see AB dash is equal to V2 by V1 into BA dash. So actually how to draw the diagram, you will center the point A and you will take the radius AB dash and then you will draw an arc, and then from the point A dash you have to draw the tangent to that arc. That is the original way to draw, but we will not do that. How we will draw? You see here, this is the refracted ray for the second one, isn't it? So the refracted wavefront should be perpendicular to both these rays. So you hold your scale in such a way that it becomes perpendicular to the ray 1 also. Okay, I'll just take this one. It will be perpendicular to ray 2 as well as perpendicular to ray 1. Alright. So if I draw the diagram like this, then you see it is becoming perpendicular. So this is, means if you consider, just extend it, this will be B dash and then you draw an arc here. Alright. So A dash B dash is the refracted wavefront. A dash B dash is the refracted wavefront. Alright. Another point is that you have to show the angle of incidence. So this is I with respect to the wavefront, and if you consider this is R, then you see this is 90 minus R. So what will be this angle? This angle will be R. So in the diagram, the important part is that two rays you have to show. You have to show the angle of incidence, angle of refraction with respect to the wavefront. Okay, with respect to the rays also, with respect to the wavefront also. You see, this is the angle of incidence with respect to the ray. This is the angle of incidence with respect to the wavefront. This is the angle of refraction with respect to the ray. This is the angle of refraction with respect to the wavefront. That is most important. So this diagram, whatever I have drawn in the diagram, whatever symbols I have used, everything should be there in your derivation. And these are the informations examiner want. That according to Huygens principle, A B dash should be this. So A dash B dash is the refracted wavefront. Now we will try to prove the Snell's law or the second law of refraction by using Huygens principle. Now it is very simple. After that, if you consider sin I by sin R, sin I is this angle, so BA dash. So you see, if it is BA dash, then this is 90 degree. Alright, this is 90 degree. So BA dash is the perpendicular, A dash is the hypotenuse. So you can write sin I is equal to BA dash by A dash. Then come to sin R. Sin R means angle A dash, B dash. Now for sin R, you see this is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. So AB dash by B dash A dash is equal to, which one is the perpendicular? If you consider this is the angle of refraction, then perpendicular will become how much? AB dash, and hypotenuse is A dash. So what is sin R? AB dash by A dash. So A dash getting cancelled. So you can write BA dash by AB dash. But according to Huygens principle, what is BA dash? You see, BA dash equal to V1 into T. And what is AB dash? AB dash equal to V2 into T. Alright, so we have applied Huygens principle here, we have applied Huygens principle here. So what you are getting? V1t by V2t, tt cancel. So you are getting sin I by sin R is equal to speed of light in the first medium by speed of light in the second medium, which is constant. Alright, so sin I by sin R equal to constant. And you know, sin I by sin R constant is nothing but the Snell's law. So this is the way one can prove the Snell's law. Alright, and here also once again you can say AB, A dash, B dash, S dash as they are lying on the plane of paper. So the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal, all of them will lie on the same plane. So not only we have proved the second law or Snell's law of refraction, we are getting the relation of the refractive index with the speed of light also. So you see, you have no sin I by sin R, it is known as the 1 mu 2 refractive index of the second medium with respect to first. So what we have got, 1 mu 2 is equal to V1 by V2. So one can write refractive index of the second medium with respect to first, that is the relative refractive index, is equal to speed of light in the first medium by speed of light in the second medium. Now if you make the first medium as air, then you know that it will become the absolute refractive index of the medium. So in that case, you see the first medium as it is air, so V1 will become equal to C. So you can write it as C by V, means the absolute refractive index of any medium is equal to speed of light in air by speed of light in the medium. So from Huygens principle, not only you can prove the Snell's law, you can also get the relation of the absolute refractive index and relative refractive index with the speed of light in free space as well as in the medium. Now the last topic of this chapter, that when a light ray travels from one medium to another, how its wavelength changes. Already in 10th standard you have done, and you know that this is the basic property, basic characteristics of the electromagnetic wave. When the electromagnetic wave changes the medium, travels from one medium to another medium, then frequency of the wave remains the same, alright, but wavelength changes, alright. You studied it in 10th standard spectrum chapter. So here you see, if you can, and this also you know, that speed of an electromagnetic wave or any wave, it may be elastic wave also, is given by C is equal to frequency into wavelength. So you see, if you consider C be the speed of light in air, then you can write the frequency nu into the wavelength in air, alright. Now, if you consider V be the speed of light in the medium, then you see, I have used the same term frequency nu. I have not written here m. Why? Because frequency remains the same. So, it will be frequency into the wavelength in the medium. So, it will be nu into lambda m. Again, we know refractive index is given by C by V. So, if you substitute nu into lambda here by nu into lambda m, nu will get cancelled. So, you see what will be the wavelength in the medium? It will be wavelength in air divided by the refractive index. So, according to this formula, when a light ray or any electromagnetic wave changes the medium, the wavelength will change. Okay, that's all about this chapter. Thank you guys.